These are the parts I'm going to be using today to do this job. A reconditioned rotors and rear pads. These are the tools I'm going to be using today to do this job. 14mm wrench, 17mm wrench, 10mm wrench, 14mm socket, 17mm socket, flat tip screwdriver, a blowgun, 3/8 cordless ratchet, hood prop, rubber mallet, caliper, piston compressor, anti-seize, ceramic grease, .3 brake fluid, brake clean, and my brake flusher. I'm going to be removing the caliper, but before I remove them, I'm going to be loosening up the bleeder screw while the caliper is still mounted. Removing these caliper bolts, this one and this one. Removing the caliper mount, there's two bolts, one here and one here. Removing the rotor. So make sure you transfer this rubber plug to the new rotor. Before you put the rotor on, make sure you clean it with some brake clean. Get off any oil. So this one has rear emergency brake shoes. So if you have to adjust it, there's a star adjuster under here. You can turn it, either make it wider or more narrow. But first we're going to try see if this thing is going to fit. If it feels kind of loose, this one feels pretty good. you don't want it too tight. But if it feels a little bit loose, then the star adjuster, you just got to turn it and open it up a little. So before we actually permanently put the rotor on, I'm going to be putting some anti-seize on my hub. I'm going to be lubricating these pins. Remove the pins. Cleaning up my pins with some brake clean. Lubricating the inside of my caliper. Lubricating my pins. Okay, now we're going to lubricate the hardware. If you can use the original shims, that's the best. The pads does come with brand new shims. Sometimes if you were to put the new ones on, it doesn't fit good, it wants to fall off. If the original ones is good, use them. If it's not, then put new shims. Okay, bolting up my caliper mount. Tightening up the caliper bolts. Okay, before you put the caliper on, you got to make sure you compress this piston. So with my piston compressor, before I compress it, I'm going to open up the bleeder screw. and then compress it. Now the brake fluid is coming out. You don't want the brake fluid to go back into the master, or the dirty brake fluid. Better come out from the bleeder screw. And then lock it up. Transferring these clips to the new pad. The new pads come with new clips, but if you can use the original one, they're always the best. So on this one, it broke off. So this one broke off, so we're gonna use a new one. So I'm gonna be installing these pads. This clip gotta go on the leading edge, so the rotor is spinning counterclockwise, so you want to put this on the bottom. Putting it on the bottom. Putting some lube, some grease on the back of my pad, the inside of the pad. Put some grease on my caliper. Putting on my caliper. So I hooked up my pressure bleeder to the master. Now we're going to bleed the brakes. I'm going to bleed the brake. I'm going to open up the bleeder screw. The brake fluid is going to come out. When it comes out clean, then I'll lock it up. Now the brake fluid is coming out really clean, so I'm going to lock up the bleeder screw. So I'm going to clean it and check for leaks. Shooting the bleeder screw with some water. With my air gun, I'm going to dry it off. Now I'm going to pressurize the system and check for leaks. Okay, so I'm going to pressurize the brake system. First, I'm going to start up the engine. With my hood prop, I'm going to push the brake pedal down and push it against the seat. So I pressurize the brake system. Now we're going to check for leaks. Pressurize the brake system about 15-20 seconds. Check for leaks. Looks all dry. Are you good to go? So that's how you replace rear brake pads and rear rotors. Don't forget to subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and I see you in the next video. Aloha.